Hi guys, we're back with part 2 of this side-by-side comparison of the Forest of Enchantment Tarot with the Rider-Waite deck. So I'm going to move these aside because these piles are going to get pretty big. Alright, and I've organized these. I mentioned this at the end of the last video, but if you're coming here for the first time, I'd recommend going back, and we went through all of the major arcana already. Now we're going to go through all the minor arcana, and I've organized these by number, so we'll see all the aces first, then all the twos, all the threes, and go from there. I wasn't sure which way to organize it. I kind of like seeing all the ones together to see kind of if there's a pattern in the aces together. And then maybe something I should do is looking through each suit in order as well, from ace all the way through the court cards. So that is something I might do, but for now we're going to start with how I've set it up already. So we have the Ace of Swords, and for this deck they call the swords challenges, which I think is pretty apt. I think like the swords can often come up with communication or ideas or thoughts, and often those things aren't going consistently well. Like it's just like not possible for them to, like your thoughts will kind of take over, or like you'll say something in conversation that you really don't mean, you know. There's a lot of opportunity for challenges to arise based on those things. And I also really like how this crow is white. It's very interesting. I guess it's because it's the beginning. It's the beginning of a new thing. It's a fresh slate, like I said in the last video, with the white heart being white. It's kind of this like blank canvas for things to be built off of. So new ideas, new avenue of communication. Yeah, I'll try not to spend too much time on each of these, but the ones that interest me, you know. Alright, so Ace of Wands, and we have Ace of Spells. I really like that, because that's like about like turning nothing into something, just like manifestation, or like going for your dreams or your passions, your goals. So spells, I can see how that connects like really well. And I like how the power is coming from this dragon here. So we had the crow, and then we have this dragon. It's very cool. Yeah, so it's about just like owning it, starting it, putting things into motion, or just like breathing them into reality. Ace of Cups with the Ace of Visions. Look, we have a little white bird here to go with the swan, and then look at the reflection of the swan here. We have a crown and a necklace. So it's about kind of like imagining these like ideals, or these wishes or hopes, or I mean visions is the general way of putting it, which I really, really like. So it's about potential in more of an emotional sense, like things that will make you happy or feel confident or feel connected. Yeah, like that little swan. I wonder if it'll show up later. And then we have the Ace of Boons. Boons, that's a word I didn't know until this deck. I don't know actually, but it is, I looked it up and now I forget. I think it's rings or bowls. It's one of them. We'll figure it out as we go. That's why this is kind of a first impression for me at the same time, even though I've shuffled through it. But anyways, it looks like this little frog is kind of like offering this ring, and it's very like earthy and grounded, and it's this material thing that's being handed over. It isn't magic, or it isn't an illusion, it isn't It isn't something that this frog even wants to possess. It's like kind of an offering, which is very interesting. All right, now we're on to the twos. 2 of Swords and then 2 of Challenges. So this is actually really interesting, the differences here. So I always think of the 2 of Swords as being kind of like blocked from your own intuition, or like unable to make a decision, refusing to like kind of like look at the whole picture kind of thing, or maybe you're missing something from the whole picture. And so that kind of comes through here with looking in the mirror, kind of like, oh, like I didn't expect to like be faced with myself in this situation. Like, what a mysterious thing to happen in a forest. If you think of this contextually, that is a very surprising thing. Yeah, for me this is like more about like reflection, self-reflection, maybe like coming to the realization of something about yourself that you weren't in touch with before. That's kind of the sense I get from that. Then we have the 2 of Spells, which is the 2 of Wands. So it looks like maybe a child is like playing with these different sticks. They have like little carvings in them. So it's kind of like this like looking and playing and kind of like exploring kind of feeling. Like I don't know what's happening here. But like I know I've had these moments as a child where you're like in the forest and like you're like playing with different rocks. Like for me it was always rocks. I was a big rock girl. But yeah, it's like this examination. It's this like kind of dreaming through the objects that are in front of you of like something magical kind of happening. And I definitely see that in the 2 of Wands, being that it's kind of about seeing like what's possible, what's ahead, and this kind of like wonderment, and like I have the whole world in my hands right now. And that's kind of how this feels too. It's like, look at all this magic in front of me. 2 of Cups and 2 of Visions. I really like this image. I love how it's like up close and it's just them, you know, it's like this, and the softness of the hands and how close they are. And yeah, oh, and look at the roses here. Red and white. I really like that. I wonder if the colors like represent actually, I don't know. I was thinking, sorry, excuse me. I was thinking they might represent like where they come from, maybe. Or maybe what they offer, like peace and passion, or yeah, it's interesting. I'm probably looking into that one a little bit too much. 2 of Pentacles and 2 of Boons. So we have this guy. Oh my gosh, look at this little troll. Cute. He's really cute. He's balancing these 2, but he's not really aware of like kind of like the danger around him almost, which is interesting. Or even if that guy's dangerous, who knows? Maybe he's like waiting for his shipment and that guy's delivering them. But yeah, this guy is definitely balancing. Look, he's still got the 1 foot up, kind of similar colors, and yeah, it's a pretty similar story. But I love that instead of the boats in the background here, we have this kind of like this unknown or this potential chaos of the little troll under the bridge. Ooh, this one like actually breaks my heart. Like, so I think I was reading and it said that it pulls from not just one type of fairy tale, but a bunch of different types of fairy tales, and then kind of like weaves it together. But this one specifically, I believe, is Hansel and Gretel. I I'm like kind of not, I don't have the best memory of all of the different classic fairy tales and which are which, but anyways, this person who I am assuming is the father is like abandoning his children in the forest. So it's like this self-inflicted heartbreak. It's this like everyone suffers in this situation. Like it's just like pure heartbreak, and I just like empathize so much with that. Like that's definitely like abandonment coming up, which is really interesting. Like, but that's why these like, I like that this is so visually different, because it totally does evoke the feeling through the situation rather than the feeling through the association. 3 of spells and 3 of wands. So this is like putting things into motion, like setting your intentions out and setting your wishes out, and you're like getting a sense of direction and trusting that you'll be guided through the journey. And that there's so much light around these ideas too, and the same with this figure here is looking out into this light openness. It has a very similar feeling there, but very different settings. Oh, it's cute. 3 of cups and 3 of visions. So you just have these like happy little bears. Like they're so they really like make me emotional. They're so cute. Like they're just having the best time. I think that it totally evokes the same feeling of just like being with friends or being with people who make life fun and can make you laugh, and sharing in what you have together and sharing in dreams. And oh, my camera's doing that thing. Sorry about that. I don't know how long that's been going on. Yeah, I really like that. That's so cute. Then 3 of boons. So we have, that's kind of like collaboration going on. It's almost like this process of making something together. We have this person back here doing something with this shell. Maybe they're like making powders, and then this person's mixing. The crow clearly has a message. The crow is the messenger in this. So they're saying their directions and she's following their lead, but without all of everyone working together, then it wouldn't be possible. And that's the same idea with this one here. Oops. I just realized I did that. Got distracted by the camera being like super wonky and robotic. Alright, 4 of challenges. So it's just like, and 4 of swords, sorry. I think I should say that. So this is about like taking a moment to just grow and like replenish. And I feel like that's the same with the 4 of swords for sure. I like that. There's like this pause, this isolation, this, and look how there's like icicles like on the outside of these like thorny bits, but then there's like growth and change and rest and recovery happening in the center here. 4 of wands and 4 of spells. Oh, I haven't seen this card yet. This is so pretty. Wow, the colors are so pretty. I love their little clothes too. So it's definitely about celebrating, like they're off to go celebrate something. It's got a sense of like familiarity of like they've decorated their home this way for a special holiday or something like that. It's like it's a very warm, familiar, like happy moment. I like that. 4 of cups and the 4 of visions. So, wow, look, okay. So, in this one, he's missing this cup being offered to him. In the same way, this guy is looking off this direction and he misses, like, this bird coming out of the water. Like, missing magic right in front of him because he's just caught up in, you know, either feeling sorry for himself or being too lost in his thoughts or emotions that he's not present enough to, like, see what's being offered to him just by being where he is. Aw. The Four of Boons and the Four of Pentacles. This is like about like kind of protecting your money, your security. Yeah, it's about like protecting and feeling like, oh, I need to be a little bit more smart about what I'm doing with this. And the Four of Boons is, this feels very protective too, like this woman's hand around the pie is this person kind of looking back like, God, why'd she make me feel bad about it, you know? I'm just trying to get this pie. And then this lady's like, well, I need these pies. I have 17 children, you know? Like, it's just... And then there's this little guy eating a pie underneath. So, like, her caution is not unjust, because we do see people stealing from her, but it's like, it's misplaced almost, which is interesting. Very interesting. Also how there's 4 people instead of 4 of the Boons or the Pentacles. 5 of Challenges. This is just like pure destruction. 5 of Swords is usually like winning, but like at what cost? Like almost kind of going too far, like for your own kind of pride and self-preservation. And that's what this is. Like, did this giant really need to pull out this tree? No, he didn't. But he did, and he doesn't really care. He's just like, I win, this is my tree. But he doesn't realize, you know, he destroyed like a family of squirrels and their home, you know? So we got the 5 of Spells. So we have kind of this quarrel, this fight, this, it's funny. I was just noticing, like, just the cute little, like, it's almost like they're casting spells on each other, trying to turn each other into frogs. So it's like, this is way more playful than I get from this. Like, this I get, like, more serious, like, argumentative, combative, whereas this I get more, yeah, it's like playful fighting. It's like, maybe they shouldn't play with magic like this, but it seems like it's not like really hurting anyone. 5 of Visions. So you have the sense of loss of like, oh my God, I'm literally watching what I'm losing right now. Like this girl is running towards this ball that's falling into the water, and she knows like she's a few steps behind, and like there's probably no way she can recover it depending on how deep the water is. But there's that sense of like, oh my God, I've lost it. And that's the same thing here. Oh my God, I've lost it. To the point where, you know, maybe the blessing here is that she stops, she looks across, and she gets to see the frog. And that's what the blessing is, that she still has around her even if she loses this. 5 of Pentacles. Oh, I haven't seen this one yet either. Wow. This sense of, you know, like hardship and poverty and making do with what you have, and, you know, being close to something that should just be an innate right for people, as in shelter. Like, these people are outside of a church, these people are outside of a house, and it looks just like dreary and cold. Yeah, there is like this like separateness, like, oh, I'm just like I don't deserve that for whatever reason. That's a very emotional card. Alright, then we have the 6 of Challenges. So this is about kind of like escaping and moving, changes, and then this is more panicky, I would say, like a little bit more stressful. Maybe that's what these swords here indicate, is like you're taking with you a lot of stress, a lot of thoughts, a lot of old, rules and beliefs. And then in this case, it's like, oh my gosh, like, thank goodness, like, I know how to climb a tree. Like, thank goodness I have my smarts with me. because like I needed to get moving fast, and it's almost like you carry up those emotions with you to the top of the tree, and then they get processed once you're there. So it's almost like, it's interesting the moment of time that this indicates, and like how long will those wolves stay down there, you know? How long is the journey? Six of Spells. So we have this sense of victory and like celebration and amazement and wonder with this little dragon popping out of an egg. They're all so happy to like witness such a victory. And it's the same thing here. This one's more prideful though. This one is more just like, wow, like the victories of natural things, which I really like that. Six of Visions. So this is usually connected to childhood, and I like this because it's almost like this girl is connecting to the magic through her book, but then it's also like the magic is already around her. So there is this huge sense of like nostalgia and childhood wonder and imagination and fantasy and all that kind of stuff. I love this like little house up here with like the little owl guy. Like these two little cuties in this boat just rowing away. Like this is so cute. Six of Pentacles. Six of Boons. So this is about like giving to someone in need, and it's almost like this shared, this mutual give and take. Like you both are better for it, and so the bunnies are keeping this woman warm, but in turn, like she's keeping them warm too, and making them probably feel really safe, because look how they're sprawled out and relaxed. And this person is willingly giving up what they have, and it's not that they're doing it to like feel good. Like for example, the wand card, the wand, Six of Wands with like the pride. This is more like, I just know this is best for the balance of things. Like if I can give you something, I will definitely get something in return, but like that's not why you do it. It's just a very natural exchange of caring and mutual need. So you have the, wait. Oh, I mixed these up here. 1 second, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't order these ones. There we go. So you have the Seven of Swords, Seven of Challenges. So we have this kind of like sneakiness of stealing from something like that isn't ours. Like there's, obviously this is from people, like these foxes, that's not their trailer. So they're, and it, of course it's the fox, it's that kind of sneaky archetype. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Seven of Spells. So, oh look, so this is almost like the dragon has grown up a little bit, and he's having to like defend himself, being like, look, I'm not like you guys. Like, I can't wear one of those hats, and I don't have hands. I'm a dragon. Like, let me do my dragon stuff. And it's kind of that same feeling here of like, let me do this. Like, let me hold this space in my passion or my dream or desire. Seven of Vision. So seeing your dreams, your wishes. Wow. So that's like looking into like, essentially, like I look at that as like the pensive from Harry Potter, like that kind of vision pool, where you dive in and you can go to different realms. And I like that these are like, we see the boar again and the crown here, and yeah. Seven of Boons. So this sense of building over time and having patience. I like these symbols on the doors. I wonder what they mean. Yeah, the sense of like there wasn't just all of these at once. Same with this. It's not, all the crops weren't ready at once. it took time and patience, and it might be a point where like things just need to like be still and happen. 8 of Challenges. So here we have very, very similar. They really captured kind of the emotion of the person represented in a lot of these minor arcana cards. Because look at these thorns, like how they're kind of like holding her back. Like they're almost as much of the like the rope here as the rope is. And how her scarf has actually come off because it's been torn by the thorns, which wasn't how she wanted it to happen. Like there's a sense of like, I'm not ready, like I'm stuck, I'm not ready, like, yeah, I really like that card. It's very powerful. 8 of, yes, okay. I was like, no, I got it mixed up, but I'm still learning like which is which. So the 8 of Wands, 8 of Spells, the sense of like movement, of urgency, of action, of incoming. It's almost like there's different levels of intensity with these owls here. Excuse me, which is interesting. But they're all headed the same direction, just like these wands are. So I have the 8 of Cups, 8 of Visions. Wow, this like sense of searching, the sense of like leaving something behind in search of something else. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 people searching. I think they're all women. And it's this kind of dark, like, it's not, you're not really too sure, like, kind of the atmosphere here. It feels kind of dreary. Like, are these women ghosts? Are they all different? Like, what are they looking for? And like, who is lost? Like, maybe they're looking for this person who left. 8 of Boons. So the work card, the dedication, focusing on what's in front of you. Aw, so look, we have a little bird that's building a nest, and probably use some of the scraps that she's using here. But it is that sense, the same goal of like building something, working on something consistently, piece by piece, to make something. 9 of Swords, 9 of Challenges. Wow. That is... Oh, I'm sorry about my camera, guys. I'll figure that out in the next video. I like to do these uncut so I can just go straight to uploading them and getting my thoughts just raw and my impressions. So we have this child. It looks like they're just hiding in this root of this tree, just like completely terrified and awake and frightened of like all the monsters. And that's the same kind of thing here, but like the monsters are your thoughts or bad dreams or, yeah. 9 of Spells. So we have this kind of like coming to fruition type of feeling here, like examining like what's been done and what needs to be done still. Taking a moment to assess and take a break. There's definitely like a mysteriousness to both of these. Like, why is he injured, and like why is she doing this in the dark by herself, you know? And they're like mysterious little eyes back here. Oh, wow, this is such a different, it's like pan back, pan in. It's very interesting. 9 of Visions. So we have this wish, like this coin being dropped into the well, this sense of wish fulfillment. The fish are on there too, which is typically about, I was gonna say it's about money, but that's actually in Lenormand, and I've been like kind of learning Lenormand lately. But it's about like spirituality and faith, like putting your faith into this wish and this investment. I really love how the plants are on the inside of the well here. 9 of Boons. Aww. It's like this little cute little gardener. She has like all her things. She has like her favorite stuff around her. She's playing with this very, very kind of scary little like bird moth. I don't like it. But it's cute, and it's cute. And look at these like little clovers next to her. Like it's full of like abundance and luck and variety. 10 of challenges. This total sense of defeat. Like his sword's broken. It's, look at the colors in this one. They're so like dulled down. Like this is a chance of like, or this is a moment of just pure like, what do I do now? What do I do now? 10 of Wands and 10 of Spells. Oh, this like journey, this long journey. Like we're almost there. We're almost there. Keep going, keep going. We have to do this together. This like shared burden. It's a shared burden, a shared journey. 10 of Visions, 10 of Cups. We have the unicorns. This is like the most like magical place you could imagine in a forest, right? Like unicorns next to like these cherry blossom trees and this beautiful waterfall, and the unicorn seeing their baby, and like what could come from that, and this sense of wholeness, and like everything's in its right place, like this paradise together together here. And yeah, that's a really nice card. 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Boons. This is like all about community, sharing in the wealth of society, sharing in the culture, and sharing in food and resources and in company. I like how they have the dog here too still. So they still featured a pupper. Oh no, my camera. Alright, so now we're on to the court cards. Let me move this out of the way now. Court card time. So we have the Page, represented by the Child. So Page of Swords and the Child of Challenges. So this is a thinker. This is someone who's really thinking and maybe not following exactly like one thought. It's kind of, they're very contemplative and explorative with their mindset. Like they're willing for new ideas to come in and try to take that in from observing their surroundings with this sense of wonder. Page of Wands and the Child of Spells. So we have this little child here, like sprinkling some magic on this bunny. That's really cute. It's this like, oh my gosh, what can I do? Like, it's this observation of magic and action, or observation of an interest of yours, like happening in front of you. Just like this Page of Wands is observing the wand, like almost observing like what these twigs are, like noticing the details of things. This child is like noticing the nuances of their magic and their dreams. Page of Cups, Child of Visions. What a nice feeling. I feel like this has been me before. For sure. I used to have blonde hair too growing up. Yeah, this is all about being open to exploring and not having fear hold you back, not having feelings, like negative feelings, hold you back. Like some people would see a spider web and they'd be scared, but like this girl, she sees it and she's like, oh my gosh, like look at how the like drops are collecting on this spider web, and oh, I have to get a closer look. It's this sense of curiosity and again wonderment. It's like this sense of Let me see more. I'm so curious. Page of Pentacles and the Child of Boons. So we have Hansel. Here's old Hansel. Found the house. I hope that's right. I said this. Yeah, never mind. Page of Pentacles. So this person's very focused on what is exactly in front of him, and it's like the material that's in front of him. And that's the same with this child. It's like, are those biscuits? You know, like that. There's a fascination with what is directly in front of him in the material realm. All right, on to the Knights. The Knights are represented as seekers in this deck. And it's interesting here. Knight of Swords has a lot of action, but this one almost feels like this, you're being confronted. Like, this is after he's ridden already towards the action. And like, you're being confronted. And look, there's the white crow again with the Ace of Challenges. Very interesting. The connection of symbolism there. I love this all black knight with the black horse. It definitely feels like, this feels like both of them have an aggressive feel, but this feels very like, oh, I'm coming for you. Like, it's very like, I'm looking head on at you, like whoever he's confronting. It's very personal feeling. Knight of Wands, Seeker of Spells. So we have this person, they've been out, they're traveling a bit, but they're not built for like a long journey. So that's kind of the same thing with the Knight of Wands. It's like this kind of quick burst of exploration or interest. So we have this woman with her tool, and like she has just what she needs. It's not anything more. And she's out and just like wondering what's around and looking for magic and potential in things other than herself or what she has around her. Knight of Cups, Seeker of Visions. This is pretty. This is very like romantic. Doesn't it feel that way? There's two butterflies there. Very airy and light and dreamy. Just like you can hear the harp in the setting, and just like the lightness and coolness of the air during this time. There definitely is this sense of, and with harps, you play them slowly, but it's moving, and it's just like this this Knight of Cups, like he's moving, but it's not necessarily at a very fast pace, you know. It's not like he's banging on the drums in the forest. He's playing a harp and taking his time, but being observant. See how his gaze is up and out? Same with this guy. He's not looking at the cup necessarily. He's not looking at the harp. They're looking out and they're open. Knight of Pentacles, Seeker of Boons. So we have someone looking at the small details. We have someone who is approaching a cluster of glowing, maybe mushrooms or stones or something. And they're very curious. They're approaching cautiously, slowly, pragmatically, and they're concerned about like what the very, very next step is. It's not so much like rushing in and then seeing what happens. And they're prepared too. Like, look how many tools she has. So we have the Queen of Swords and the Weaver of Challenges. Very direct again. Here's the crow again. We have this sense of like a hand that's open to hearing, open for feedback. This directness of like, I'm here, I'm listening to you, and here are my ideas too. It's this, yeah. But there is this kind of sense of harshness with the thorns. Maybe with communication not being like totally like considerate or compassionate. Maybe it's like this like kind of bluntness, which is kind of the feeling I get from, I mean, that's the same with the sword, right? Like it's kind of this like, it's an aggressive symbol. It's a symbol of fighting. And the thorns is kind of this symbol of rigidness. If like you don't want to get caught in the thorns because they're going to catch you. Queen of Wands and the Weaver of Spells. very, very warm. I like that they kept that warmth from like the fire sign of the wands. And this person is like owning the magic in herself. She's not seeking it outside of herself. She's not like playing with it. She's like embodying it. Like she is full on the weaver of spells, and she feels the magic and she like owns it. It's very confident. Queen of Cups, Weaver of Visions. So we have this sense of like dreaming of the potential or examining things in this sense of like, oh, I wonder what could be next. So the Queen of Cups is very much like the master of like looking and examining her own emotions. And for Weaver of Visions, the feeling I get more so is like seeing what more I can become, like how much more can I evolve. And I like that she's looking up, and you can kind of see down here like she's kind of turning into like a fish, which is very interesting. Queen of Pentacles and Weaver of Boons. So we have this like lovely lady here, and she's like offering the material earth-based things that she has probably from her home to you. It's like this offering of abundance, like I have more than enough, please take this. It's a very nice card. It's very sweet. King of Swords and King of Challenges. So this guy has the skull of the bird on his cane here. It's no longer a companion. It's almost like he's in a different place now, where like he's just fully in his own. He's fully owning his own ideas, thoughts, and directions, and he's looking straight on, and kind of has that same kind of throne feel, but in the tree, which I love. That's a theme. Oh, I've never seen this one. Keeper of Spells, King of Wands. So the Keeper of Spells, like totally mastering and playing magic with like this dragon here in the middle. That is really cool. So it's like this full on like one-to-one with the magic of whatever he wants to make. It's like he's fully in control. Similar shape too with the salamanders on the back here, which is all about evolution and oh, look at the little salamander there too. Never noticed that little guy. Yeah. King of Cups. Oh, okay, so now we have the full fish. Interesting. So from the child to the keeper, they transformed into the fish, which is like fully embodying whatever vision you have for yourself. It's like that, like holding strong in it, so much so that like that's how people see you now. And the Keeper of Boons, our last card, King of Pentacles. Aw, so the badger. So this is this makes me think like this was the badger who was the hermit before, you know, and like he's done his thinking. He's very grounded. He's very connected to oh my gosh, my camera. I'm really sorry. I hope that's not too distracting. But yeah, and it's like this sense of having plenty. Again, it's similar to the Queen of Pentacles, where he's like surrounded by like beauty and wealth and abundance, and has look, the badger and then the bull here. So they must be connected too in some kind of meaning. I'm not sure how. Maybe like that kind of like stubbornness of and stability and loyalty in the same sense. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, that was really fun to go through, especially since the systems are pretty different. I mean, they're not super different. It's not like a whole new system, but I mean, for a beginner, I would say like that would be pretty hard to like get into without kind of referencing maybe the themes from the Rider-Waite, but I feel like the imagery is so strong in the Forest of Enchantment that you could intuitively pick up quite a bit from this. Like, I feel even more connected to it now that I've done this look over. So I would recommend, like, if you guys get a new deck or something, just organize, you know, like while you're watching a Netflix show or something, like organize your tarot cards, get them ready, and then sit down and just like do a 1-to-1 and look at the side by side and see what you see. Because I definitely noticed things that I don't know if I would have noticed otherwise, from just looking at them straight on like I had before. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know this was about twice the length, but I mean, we had like twice the cards, so I tried to do my best getting through all of it. But if you have any questions or would like me to do this again, please let me know. I actually do have another deck that's a different but still Rider-Waite based, so that could be very interesting. So let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I almost said describe. I really need to eat lunch. I'm getting really tired. And hit the notification bell because I do live streams and live free tarot readings where I use a bunch of different decks and oracle cards, and my setup is a little bit like wider up, so it's more like a vibe, you know? So you're welcome to come to the vibe. Anyways, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope that if you like the deck that you'll pick it up, because I absolutely love it and it feels so good to shuffle too. It's like it seems very glossy, but then on the other side it's pretty smooth. Has like a very easy slip to it. Really enjoyable to shuffle, and now the imagery has me hooked even more. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!